Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Long Gone Loser Rock Show. It's another Waterfront Wednesday today, and we're going to talk about the Proton energy pills. This single, released in 1989, was the very first song I ever heard of the Proton Energy Pills. Basically, what happened is the usual story. I went to Seeing Ears, and Gavin, who worked behind the counter there, would always turn me on to the new bands that were coming out, the new singles that were coming out, etc., etc. I'd recently discovered the whole Waterfront Records deal, and so yeah, I just told him that, give me more bands like the Hard-Ons and that whole scene. So he told me to listen to this awesome single released by Wollongong favourites, the Proton Energy Pills. I put on the headphones, I did my usual thing, I cranked it up and I listened. And immediately I was blown away. The song Survival that you've just heard a little bit of from the video there, what a song. Like, seriously, what a song. Like, they don't make them like that anymore, seriously. That song just blows my mind. It really does. And so immediately I was like, I need this record. So I paid my $3 and I grabbed the record and I left. When I got home, I listened to this single like over and over and over again, driving my mum nuts, I'm sure of it. Now, I remember distinctly the B-side Symmetry. It had a scratch in it, or like a jump or something on my turntable, and it drove me fucking bananas. I hated it. I hated listening to it because of this jump that was in there. And it didn't matter what I did. I tried to get rid of the scratch and I just couldn't. It seemed it was just there and I was stuck with it. So I took the record back and I said, hey man, this has got a really bad scratch in the B-side. And I exchanged it for another one. Now, when I got that other one home, the scratch was in the same spot. So it was obviously a pressing thing, but it was on my turntable that was the issue. When I listened to it on another friend's turntable, it didn't do the jump. So I held on to the record and I thought, well, eventually I'll get myself a better turntable, which I did. I don't know what it is about my turntable at the time, but it just could not play Symmetry without jumping. You get this cool little comic book thing on the inside there. And again, it had a thanks list. And the first thing I did was go and check the thanks list out. I was looking for new bands to listen to all the time. And so I'd go through here and I'd sit there and go, oh, wow, look, the Horny Toads. Who are the Horny Toads? I need to buy their records. And I did, as we went on. But it was just things like that. Like, I would go through this list and just like look at the bands that were on there and then just start going, I need to listen to this. I need to listen to this. And it wasn't just the independent bands that they were thanking in here. There were some big name bands, or bigger name bands, I should say. But still, it was all part of this whole circle, and I needed to discover it all. So for the bands that I didn't know, I was pretty stoked on, and I would start to delve in, and I'd end up buying those records. It was really cool. Like, it was a gateway to discovering so much independent, cool music. And I really liked Lenny Curley's artwork that he was doing. Like, obviously they're huge Ramones fans and, it shows. Even though the music, I would say, isn't directly inspired by the Ramones, it's definitely there. There's the back cover photo and the back cover. So now members of this band went on to obviously be in other great bands. For example, the singer, Dave Curley, went on to be the singer of the Zambian Goat Herders. The guitarist Stewie Cunningham went on to form both Brother Brick and Leadfinger, as well as being the Yes Men and, was it Challenger 7? I think he was in for a little bit there. Like, just so many bands that all these members have done. I remember the guitarist Lenny Curley went on to be in, what was that band? We played with him in Wollongong. And we played with this band in Wollongong at a like bolo, and he was a guitarist. And I can't remember their name. But the Pink Fits, maybe? Is that them? I'm pretty sure that's them. Anyway, it was so cool. There we have the record. I love that label. I always do. I just love the label artwork. This was Damp 119. Really, really cool record. I always liked how they chose to draw the Waterfront logo instead of, using the actual logo. They drew it themselves, which not only they did it, but also Ben Brown did it as well. I always thought that was really, really cool. But yeah, this is a really good record, and I still see it around every now and then. Even though I love Tumbleweed, don't get me wrong, I fucking love that band, but I just love the Proton Energy Pills, and the sound they had was so good. I love how everything just sounds live in the studio. I really think it's such a good record, and the drumming on it's really good. When I was drumming, that was one of the songs that I used to practice all the time, was Survival. I used to always practice Survival, always on the drums. It drove my mum nuts, but I had the drum kit in the house, and I had to play it when she was at work. And sometimes I'd be playing so much that I had no idea that she came home, and then she'd come in and say, "Please stop," because it just rang out throughout the whole house. But I used to always drum along to this song, so because I just love that. It's so good. But anyway, if you don't know this record, go out and buy it. It's a really, really good record. And yeah, thanks for watching another episode of Waterfront Wednesdays. This was a Proton Energy Pills Survival 7-inch. Stay tuned for more. Look after yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll see you again next Wednesday with another great Waterfront release. Bye bye.